Hi, I am here today with Joel Reichenbach. Joel is on our development team and he works with churches. And the reason we wanted to come and talk today is because we know that churches are such an important part of our mission. We hear from survivors who share with us all the time how they will go oftentimes to their pastor or lay leader or another member of their congregation and confide in them about what they're experiencing as it pertains to domestic abuse.
Yeah, Cassie, our faith leaders experience this all the time. 85% have counseled domestic abuse survivors, and a vast majority believe that it's happening in their congregations.
Yeah, what we hear from a lot of the families that we serve is that they'll talk about how they are so committed to their vows and they just take so seriously that till death do us part. And we appreciate that and we value that, but there's also a cautionary tale in that, because what we want to make sure is that people are in relationships that are grounded on a healthy depiction of love, not based on control and manipulation.
Yeah, domestic abuse has no place in God's plan for us. And we hear about God's plan when we see Paul talking about marriage and the role of spouses in Ephesians 5.
Yeah, when we have conversations or when we hear conversations about that, we'll oftentimes hear about the primary focus being on wives submitting to their husbands. And it comes from verse 22 where it says, "Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands as you do the Lord." But submission looks like understanding, support, and care as a helpmate, not something that is dominated by a domineering perspective.
Yeah, and later on in chapter 5, Paul talks about the husband's role and talking about Christ's leadership for the church and how Christ cares and cherishes the church. Paul talks about how a husband's role is to care for and cherish his wife, also in relationship, giving and not so much getting.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing as we're talking about this is really that focus on being Christlike, and for spouses in particular, it means supporting one another, cherishing one another, caring for one another, not being in the midst of relationships that are really based on manipulation and danger.
Yeah, being Christ-like means caring, serving one another, and that means caring and serving our families.
Yeah, so if you're a faith leader, if you're a member of a congregation and you want to talk a little bit more about this, there's a couple ways that you can reach out. You can reach out to us directly or go to our website at shelteringwings.org.